Hi, everyone. I just wanted to go through and answer some of the questions that came through in the chat pad since we didn't have the live Q&A tonight because we ran out of time and I didn't want to take up any more of your time. So this is the questions that came through on the webinar tonight, and I'm just going to go through them and answer them. So the first one is, when in situations of really bad separation anxiety at school, how do you help your child when their amygdala is overriding the cortex? I have a whole webinar actually on returning to school and separation anxiety. And when our kids come out of lockdown, I'll probably release that. So as long as you're on my mailing list, you should be notified of that. Otherwise, follow me on Instagram and I'll post a thing on there when we do the return to school one. But essentially with separation anxiety, it's the same thing that we're just prioritizing safety, safety, safety. But you can do little things like have a necklace that I wear and my child wears, or a bracelet, and I touch that necklace, and can you feel it? It's a special thread that connects us. There's a book called The Invisible String by Patrice Karst, and that is my favorite book on separation anxiety. And that is essentially, it's that there's an invisible string that connects us. The other thing you can do with separation anxiety stuff is having an anchor point. So at the end of the week on Friday, we're going to get ice cream, and we look forward to that. It's not bribery. It's bribery when it's, if you go to school, then we'll get a pizza. If you go to school, then we'll get ice cream. If you go to school, I'll buy you a pony. That's bribery. But when it's, we have something to look forward to on Friday, don't we? Or at the end of the day, when I pick you up, what are we going to do? What do you want to do when I pick you up? What should we do? Should we go to the park? Should we go get ice cream with our friends? What would you like to do? So they have something to look forward to. But remember, a lot of times too, at drop off, both my kids have had really rough drop off, hating school. My younger daughter ripped my shirt once and being pulled off me going to kinder. It's really hard. I just want to validate that for those of you that have separation anxiety issues with your kids. It's so hard to experience as a parent. So hard. But the main thing you want to do in the hard drop-off situations is validate. I know, bud, it's hard. This is what I always say to my kids when they have a particular, I don't want to know that, morning, is, I know, bud, it's hard. But remember what we know about Miggy? He always warms up. And he always will get used to it. It just will take him a little bit of time, but that he'll always warm up. And I'll say to them, how long did it take today for Miggy to warm up? And at the beginning of the school year, it's like Frozen. That's what they'll say, which is the length of the movie Frozen. So like an hour-ish. And then as time goes on, they'll say, it was 3 Blueies. It was 2 Blueies. It was 1 Bluey. So, Bluey episodes are like 6 minutes. So I figure when they say it was a Bluey episode, I'm like, I'm cool with that. So I'll basically just, when they say that they don't want to separate, I validate that and go, I know it's really hard. We can do hard things. Mommy's never, mommy's always come back. Daddy's always come back. We will always pick you up. I will see you at the end of the day. We can do this. We can do hard things. We've survived 100% of our days. But this is me answering this in a Q&A in like 2 minutes, like really separation anxiety. We could probably go through that in we could probably cover that in like an hour. I could probably do a whole webinar just on separation anxiety. It's a big topic, and it's not that straightforward, because what I'm more curious about is why. Why is the child so hesitant to leave you? What are they afraid of? Is there something happening in the classroom? Is there a teacher? Is there a peer? Is there something that feels unsafe to them in the room? Is there something happening at home? Like a lot of times I've had situations with kids who have really significant separation anxiety because mom is battling cancer or dad is violent, and the child knows, I can't leave mom alone, or I don't want to leave mom alone because I'm worried, or dad is depressed and I don't want to leave him because I know he's not okay. And that will manifest in not wanting to go to school. So there's never just a obvious reason why a kid has separation anxiety or school refusal. It is layered. And what you see is the tip of the iceberg. You got to zoom out and sort of look at what else is going on, and what's happening kind of behind the scenes. And yeah, let me know actually if you want separation anxiety specific kind of stuff, or like school drop off, school refusal stuff, send me an email. And then when I put together a webinar on that, I will make sure that I let you know about it. What else? Is this related to Maslow's hierarchy of needs? I think that means the latter. Kinda. But I would say no. I feel like I feel like it's different. That's more complicated and more complex. But I guess it is sort of. Basically, it's just the brain needs to feel safe to do anything. And if you think of Maslow, the bottom of the triangle is, sleep, rest, food, all the basic needs need to be met. And you can have that with a kid, that their basic needs are met, but they're still anxious, So, yeah, close, but not kind of. I love though that Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's a great thing to know. Okay. Could it be possible for a child to reach Winnie the Pooh without connection and support from peers and staff at school when they are supposed to be in school during this time? I gotta read that again. Could it be possible for a child to reach Winnie the Pooh without connection and support from peers and staff at school when they're supposed to be? Well, yeah, let me read the rest of the question. If the school isn't connecting during remote learning on a regular basis, can the child get what they need just from the parents to help them reach Winnie the Pooh? Oh my God, yes. Oh my God. No. Okay, I need to be more clear. I wasn't clear enough. The polyvagal theory, right? The ladder, that is all you, mom and dad. Yeah, the educators ideally are implementing that concept and that framework at school and in online learning, but that slide is so important for you at home and constantly doing whatever you can to make your child feel safe, psychologically, emotionally, mentally. So even if they're not having regular online learning, don't care. Like, they could not have online learning for 6 weeks. I want you parents to be prioritizing getting them up to Winnie the Pooh. It's only the sort of differences when they're at school physically and when they're at home. So when they're at home, it's the caregiver's responsibility for helping them get up to Winnie the Pooh. And when they're at school, it's the teacher's responsibility for helping them get up to Winnie the Pooh. Does that make sense? I hope that answers that. Could it be possible for a child to reach Winnie the Pooh without? And no, it's not possible for a child to reach Winnie the Pooh without connection and support. But it's sort of a separate thing. They will get connection and support from peers and staff at school and then at home. So it's sort of like a physical position, location thing. So like if you were at work, I would be saying, because how like at work, it's easier for you to maybe hit Winnie the Pooh if you feel really competent and smart and good at your job, right? And then at home, maybe you have an abusive or a toxic environment or something that you are really Eeyore at home. Do you know what I mean? So it's always dependent on the location kind of where you're at and how you're feeling in that environment. Like, because for me, if I go to I don't know, the races, like spring carnival or something, I don't like all the fancy stuff. I'm not a big fashion person. I'm not into like heels and, the latest whatever. So I feel insecure and uncomfortable. I don't particularly like that kind of stuff, unless I was styled, actually, unless a professional did it all for me. And then I would feel confident about it. But like in that scenario, I'm probably going to be more in the Tigger, a little bit anxious because I'm not really in my element. I don't feel really comfortable. Whereas if you put me at a, psychology conference, I'm like, that's my jam. I feel so safe and social because these are my people. Yeah. So it just sort of depends on where you are and where you feel comfortable. And yeah, and it's the same for our kids. Okay, I have just learned that to calm the vagus nerve, the breath out should be twice as long as the breath in. Cool. I have heard of cookie breathing, breath in through your nose for 4 and blow on the cookie to cool it with your mouth for 8 until your lungs have exhausted your breath. Yeah, the thing with breathing is there's so many different variations that you can do. I just think you want to start with basic, because anytime you learn anything new, amygdala is like, I don't like it because it's new. So try to make it be as simple and basic as possible. So when I start breathing exercises, I teach the very basics, which is belly breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, and then box breathing, which is in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, and then hold for 4 again. And then I say to people, if you want to play with that and you want to do in for 4, out for 8, cool. But just start with that. Like just get your head around that and practicing that, and then start playing with it and doing other things. And then yes, for kids, cupcake breathing, cookie breathing, cake breathing, there's lots of different terms, or blowing out the candles is another great thing to do. And saying, should we blow out some candles? Okay, ready? And then you can, hold your hand up and go, all right, ready, let's do it. And then blowing out the candle, and that breathing really slows them down. So yes, good pickup. Thank you for reminding me of cookie, cupcake, cake breathing. It's a good one. Or blowing out the candles is often what I will say to my kids. What else? Another variation of breathing techniques is the example of visualizing breathing in and blowing out birthday candles. Yes. Can I get that overview screen again from before? Can you email me, Miriam, and let me know what overview screen that was? Sorry. And I can send that to you. The recap slide. Is that... maybe this one. Let me share. 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 Is it this one? I think. So this is the recap of my favorite slides, or these are kind of the most popular ones that people often will ask me for afterwards. Now this recap slide, that's what you're saying. So this is like the points that we kind of advertised in the flyer for this webinar. It's like the answers, of, so what does your family need most from you right now, and how to be there for them. Safety and connection. What do you prioritize during lockdown? Safety and connection. It's essentially safety and connection for all of them. Except for why you're feeling more exhausted and fatigued right now, because your amygdala is cranky and has been working in overdrive for a year and a half. Yeah, tried and tested scripts you can use to reassure your kids and yourself is connection, which is the we will and the moves acronym scripts. Yeah. And yes, email us if there's anything that you missed or wanted. Let me know. I don't send my whole slide deck because I don't know, it's my IP, and I've had some people kind of take advantage of that and teach it and use some of my stuff in the past. So I feel a bit nervous about doing that, but I'm happy to send you this one, the most popular ones. We usually do that in a pack. If you want those, that's easy. You can email us and we can send these ones to you. Or if you have like a specific few that you really wanted, I'm totally happy to send them. It's just not the whole thing like in order. Yeah, because I got burned once, and that whole one person ruins it for everyone thing. Okay. That's it. Cool. I answered everything. Awesome. Will a presentation be available? Yes, you can watch the replay, and yay. I'm glad that was helpful for you guys. Thanks for the nice feedback. That's very kind of you. Hope it was good. Hope you got something out of it. Shoot me an email. Let me know how you go. I love to hear stories of how you implemented some of this stuff with your kids and it changed something, or you had a win, or you had a situation that sucked, and you implemented one of these things and it made it better, or you implemented one of these things and it didn't work and now you don't know what to do. Like, totally feel free to email me and we can talk about it. If you feel like you want a lot of help and you're like, this was the tip of the iceberg, join the parenting program and get a lot of support and get a lot of strategies and tools and stuff if you feel like you need a lot of help. But otherwise, this is a good place to start. Just this presentation is a good, foundation kind of to understanding, especially polyvagal. It's such a beautiful way to understand our children and behavior, and that nobody's naughty and bad and manipulative, but they're somewhere on the ladder and they need our love and validation. So anyway, hope that was helpful, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.